What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of La Liga Career Mode. This is episode number 40 and we're starting today's episode off with the Thursday night clash against Atalanta. Yep, first leg of our preliminary round stage fixture against the Italian side who were knocked out of their Champions League group, finishing in third place. And you'll see Atalanta this season in the league, they're doing really well. They're in third place right now. They're way off Inter Milan, who are far clear in the race for the Serie A title, but they are in the top four. Now, they're a 4.5-star team. When you look at their team here, I'll be honest, I think ours is better. Now, they've got some class players, don't get me wrong. Rudiger is in their back line. Dean Henderson is between the sticks. They've got Raul Jimenez. They've got Daniel Malen. It's a solid side, don't get me wrong. But I think ours is better. I really do. And don't you just love it in RTGs when you realise that the bigger teams than you, when you started to save off, are now at your level, if not below you in terms of quality? It's one of those really cool moments in the save where back in Season 1, if we were facing Atalanta, for example, in a European competition or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, we're massive underdogs. But now I'm looking at the team thinking, yeah, we're better, at least in my book. And on the back of the big win against Villarreal and back-to-back wins, including Alaves as well, returning to Andalusia, first leg, Atalanta. What a start. 3 minutes into the game and it was a brilliant team goal. You know I love those kickoff goals where you don't give your opponent a sniff of the ball. It's so cool, and the build up in that goal there, working the ball from centre to left, then left to centre, then centre to right, and then right into the middle, and then Teka converts his 6th in the Europa League this year as our top scorer, opens the scoring and gives us the lead right from kickoff. We could have been 2 goals up 17 minutes in as well, and would have been so as well had it not been for a brilliant save by the former Red Devil Dean Henderson, keeping it at 1-0 with a fabulous reflex stop as we still led by a goal. But I knew if I stayed in attack mode I'd find a second goal. We put Atalanta under the pressure right from kickoff, scoring that early goal. Could have been 2-0 up. I knew a second was coming. What a ball by Luis Mia for this little hockey assist here. That was absolutely inch perfect. Rolls for Antonio across the middle, and who's there to turn in from close range for his second of the game and our second too. Is there a better striker in La Liga right now? Randy and Teka. Second of the night, 7th in the Europa League. He's now the top scorer in the Europa League this year. He makes it 2. There was a minor deflection, I will be honest here, that helped it past Henderson. I think it was going in anyway, but even so, there was a little deflection, but Teka still claimed it. 2-0 Granada, and really Atalanta hadn't caused me any problems at all. They had one chance in the first half where Maximiano made a pretty simple save. We were still leading by 2, and to be honest, I just felt heading into the game, I just felt I was better. I just felt on the back of back-to-back wins, I'll be able to win this game if I was really attack-minded and really aggressive. There was a bit of bad news though. 9 minutes after the restart in the game where I really controlled, we did see Neva got for an aerial duel and stay down. Thankfully did soldier on, but an injury there that I knew he wouldn't run off for sure. And on the stroke of the hour mark, still leading by 2, looking for a third goal. I guess this was just one of those games where like everything's clicking, do you know what I mean? Like one of those games you go into and you feel confident pre-game, and during the game you got total confidence. I was doing some really cool stuff in this game, man. I'll be totally honest here, not big myself up too much, but I really felt I was doing some really cool stuff. The kickoff goal was really nice. Second goal was a great hockey assist from Mia, and for the third goal, Antonio with a McGeady spin to be his man. And I guess his highlight here, you know, just sort of like running around, really, like running rings around Atalanta. We got a little bit lucky for the 4th goal, but Darwin skilling his man, ball inside, shot blocked, but it dropped straight to Unai Venfador, who gets our 4th goal, and that would do it. Final score in Andalusia, Granada 4, Atalanta 0. And I felt confident pre-game. I didn't think I was being arrogant. I genuinely looked at the teams and thought, I think mine's better. And in the end, the scoreline tells the full story. Granada 4, Atalanta 0. Absolutely dominated the first leg. And no doubt about it, we've got 1 foot in the Europa League last 16 now as well. Neva's injury, thankfully, was just a bruise. He's going to be out for 5 days. And this was really interesting too. Look at this. Venfador has been suspended. It can happen, guys. It can happen. Can you believe it? It never happens in FIFA career mode. Like, mainly because red cards are so rare, you know. Like the AI, for example, they won't fly into tackles. They don't do that because, you know, if you're playing on the highest difficulty, they're too disciplined and too perfect to do something like that on defense. But, you know, you'll probably rarely get a red card yourself. And yellow cards are also very infrequent too, because as we know, you know, fouls. I mean, it's crazy, but like fouls against the AI on Ultimate barely happen. Like, the most amount of free kicks you get in a game are ordinarily due to offsides, you know. But it can happen. Proof there, Venfador got a booking during the game, and he's going to be suspended for the second leg. He scored our 4th goal, and he's out for the second leg in Bergamo. Thankfully, I don't think we'll miss him because we're 4-0 up and we've got 1 foot in the last 16. So following game, 3 straight wins for Granada. Back on track, no doubt about that. Heading into this game, SDI bar down the bottom of the table at home should be a banker. What happens? We're 2-0 down in the early stages. Yep, that's how it works in FIFA career mode. As you know, you can go and thrash a European standard team like Atalanta 4-0, and then you can be 2-0 down at home to one of the weaker sides in the division. We were 2-0 down, but right before the break, we got a glimmer of hope. Antonio, 2nd in 2, made it 2-1. And we're back in the game, but even a draw in this game would be a really tough one. We needed to turn the game and flip the script completely and go from 2-0 down to winning this one. That's a really tough task against an AI on Ultimate, but we got back in the game through VR. Then he set up Suarez for our second to make it 2-2, and the momentum totally changed. And do you remember a few episodes ago I was talking about handicap and whether it exists or not, and I've said before, like, I don't believe scripting exists. I'm very on the fence about handicap, but I do believe firmly momentum exists, as I believe it should. Well, I think this game was a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When I was 2-0 down here against Ibar, I was struggling mightily. They had me under the cosh, I was all over the place. But as soon as VR got the goal back, then Ibar started retreating, then Suarez got our leveller, then they started to play contained football, they couldn't stop us, and then later on, Luis Javier, oh, he's back, baby. He is back, gets his brace and wins the game. Granada flip the script entirely and win it 3-2. And again, just look at the stats here, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. I wish it would show like the period of shots, if you will, in the game. All of Ibar's attempts came in the first half when they took a 2-goal lead, and all of ours came afterwards when we scored the 3 goals to flip the script. To me, like, games like that sort of kind of not necessarily prove my point, because I can't prove it, you know, officially, if you will, because I don't work for EA, obviously, unfortunately. But you know, like, what I'm trying to say is games like that kind of like give you a bit of an indication as to why I believe momentum exists. In that game there, we flipped the script and momentum totally changed. Once VR got us back in the game, the energy, the palpable energy change was there on full display. Then Ibar got nervous, then we leveled it, then they were terrified, then we won it. So yeah, great victory there, coming back from 2 goals down to win it 3-2. But the problem I've got right now is, who do I start up top for the biggest games this season, man? Because our third and final game as our European dreams were going to be extended here. Atalanta away in Bergamo after winning the first leg 4-0. We knew the job was basically done. We headed to Italy knowing that we had a 4-goal lead, and surely we weren't going to let that slip. Even if we lost the game, all you need to do was lose by 3 or fewer and we would go through. So I fielded a decent team. I had a few starters out there. Maximiano between the sticks. Ateki was starting too, and Tek is our Golden Boot leader in the race for the Golden Boot in the Europa League right now. So I had some starters out there, don't get me wrong, but I did throw out a few of my sort of bench players, if you will. And we were 2-1 down in the first half, and Teka scored an early goal, but Atalanta flipped the script themselves to make it 2-1, and again, momentum totally changed. They went from being a goal down, and then they were leading by 2, and then I couldn't stop them. 9 minutes after the restart, they won themselves a penalty, and as they trailed by 3 at this point, I was thinking, they get a goal here, game's back on. But Maximiano, oh my goodness, I love this guy! Second time he's had to face a penalty in the past few episodes. He saved them both. I actually started drifting towards the middle of my goal, and I thought, no, I think he's going to go down the middle, you know. Managed to make the save. It was a shocking penalty, don't get me wrong, but even so, Maximiano, 2 penalty saves in a row, keeps it 2-1. And when you talk about momentum shifting, right from that penalty save, we work our way forward, and Azuni, who we don't see much these days, makes it 2-2 and restores our 4-goal cushion on aggregate. What a swing that was. If Ben Yedder scores that penalty, it's 3-1 and the gap is cut to 2 on the aggregate scoreline. But instead, Maximiano saves it, we go to the other end, and we then extend it to 4. From what could have been a 2-goal deficit to now a 4-goal one, game was surely done after Maximiano's save and Azuni's goal. Daniel Milan did get Atalanta a goal to make it 3-2 and keep themselves in the hunt for a miracle, but really this game was just as open as it gets. Midfield, never heard of it. It was ridiculous. Just total end-to-end football, action-packed, goals and shots galore. And in a crazy game, topsy-turvy, Milan makes it 3-2 and Ruben says, we're not just going to win the aggregate, we're going to win the game as well. It's 3-3 on the night, and at this point I was still pushing for the win on the night. Didn't matter to me, but I was still pushing for the win in stoppage time here. Oh, look at this, by the way. I mean, what have I been doing lately defensively? I mean, well, I've said it throughout the entire FIFA, but what have I been doing lately defensively, man? Like, seriously, the mistakes I've been making are absolutely embarrassing. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Alan makes it 4-3, Atalanta win on the night, but of course we do make it through with a 7-4 aggregate scoreline. Yeah, massive win, but such an open game, man. Seriously, it was crazy end-to-end football, but that goal, the ball was literally loose, and Maximiano stood there, looked at it and thought, am I allowed to use my hands? Because I think I've forgotten. Retreats back to his goal line, but not on time, and Alan squirms home the easy goal. 4-3, Atalanta win the night, we win the tie, we are through to the Europa League last 16. And to end today's episode off, we see who will be taking on in the last 16 of the Europa League. And Granada have got... Oh yeah, bring them on, it's another Italian side. And it's Roma. Yep, Jose Mourinho, he's won it before. He won it not too long ago with Manchester United. He won the Europa Conference League last year. He's the only manager to have won all three European competitions. Europa Conference League, Europa League, and the Champions League. And we've got him. He put in a bid for my Wonder Kid so recently, I turned it down. And Antonio's ready to show him what he's going to miss out on. Yep, bring it on, Roma, baby. Cannot wait. Without winning today's episode of La Liga Carimo, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't, leave a like. Most of you all have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of La Liga Carimo, where Granada, as you've seen, have gone top. More on that later. Very soon.